It may come as a shock to you, but I say that I would have beat every heavyweight that ever lived before me.
This boxer floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're taking a look at the life and career of Muhammad Ali.
I predict that he will go in 8 to prove that I am great. And if he want to go to heaven, I'll get him in 7. He'll be in the worst of fix if I cut it to 6. And if he keeps talking jive, I'll cut it to 5.
Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. was born on January 17, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky. He was 12 when he was introduced to boxing by policeman and boxing coach Joe E. Martin. He soon began to train and participated in several amateur boxing matches. After winning several Golden Gloves titles, Clay won the light heavyweight gold medal in the 1960 Summer Olympics. Shortly thereafter, he won his first professional fight against Fayetteville Police Chief Tunney Huntsacker, and Angelo Dundee became his trainer. Throughout the early 1960s, Clay began to attract attention with his frequent victories and regular knockouts. During this period, he defeated notable boxers such as Doug Jones, Henry Cooper, and Archie Moore. He also developed a fighting style that depended on speed, especially that of his feet. In 1964, Clay had an unexpected victory against the current heavyweight champion Sonny Liston.
He's too ugly to be the world's champ. The world's champ should be pretty like me.
At 22, he became the youngest boxer to take the world heavyweight title from the reigning champ.
I am the king of the world.
Hold it.
I'm pretty.
Hold it, you're not that pretty.
I'm a bad man.
Wait.
I shook up the world.
Soon after, Clay announced his membership to the Nation of Islam and adopted the name Muhammad Ali. That same year, Ali refused to serve in the U.S. Army, and this asserted his status as a conscientious objector to the Vietnam War. The next year, he won a rematch with Liston by knockout and fought Floyd Patterson in the second defense of his title. He won several more bouts against opponents such as George Chuvalo, Brian London, and Carl Mildenberger. There were a few other notable fights during this time. These included the 1966 victory against Cleveland Big Cat Williams, which drew an indoor world record of over 35,000 fans. Another was his brutal fight against Ernie Terrell in 1967. Later that year, Ali was found guilty of refusing induction into the Army. He was subsequently stripped of his boxing title and had his professional license suspended.
Whatever the punishment, whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
As the years went by, opposition to the war began to grow. While his case was still on appeal, certain states and boxing commissions allowed Ali to fight. Despite winning a few bouts in 1970, Ali experienced his first professional loss against reigning heavyweight champion Joe Frazier in 1971. The highly anticipated match came to be known as the Fight of the Century. His conviction was reversed a few months later, and he returned to the ring. After a series of exhibition matches known as the Muhammad Ali Boxing Show, as well as a few other fights, Ali defeated Frazier in a 1974 rematch. Next up was the Don King promoted fight, The Rumble in the Jungle. Ali tired out his much younger opponent George Foreman through the use of a boxing style that came to be known as the rope-a-dope strategy. The surprising win allowed Ali to reclaim the title of heavyweight champion of the world. Following bouts against Chuck Wepner, Ron Lyle, and Joe Bugner, Ali took on Frazier for the third time in 1975. The highly anticipated Don King promoted fight, dubbed the Thrilla in Manila, resulted in Ali's second victory against Frazier. The next year, Ali won a number of bouts against fighters such as Jimmy Young and Richard Dunn. He then fought an exhibition match against wrestler and martial artist Antonio Inoki and won his third fight against Ken Norton. After several victories the next year, Ali fought 2 matches against 1976 Olympic champion Leon Spinks in 1978. He lost the heavyweight title in the first fight, but won it back in a rematch later that year. This victory made him boxing's first 3-time heavyweight champion. After losing to Larry Holmes in 1980, Ali participated in his final fight in 1981. He was defeated by the top heavyweight contender at the time, Trevor Berbick. Though he was diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome a few years later, Ali remained active in civic and humanitarian projects following his retirement. Once nicknamed the greatest, Muhammad Ali defeated every top heavyweight in his generation, and his story has inspired millions.
And you're always talking about Muhammad, you're not the same man you were 10 years ago. Well, I asked your wife, and she told me you're not the same man you were 2 years ago.